A little backstory on how I discovered walking every day. It's not rocket science on how someone can walk, but it's one of the most underrated forms of exercise that anyone can do. As long as you can move your feet forward, all you need are like comfortable shoes. You can walk already. So just a little backstory. I remember the day. It was May 19th. I was in a Zoom call with one of my clients. I remember that I was so stressed because the client had so many demands and stuff. So we were in a call for about an hour and 45 minutes. What I did was, because I wanted to lose some steam, I said, okay, let me put on my earphones. And I just started walking around our village, just talking because it was just an audio call. An hour and a half afterwards, I check on my watch and I see that, hey, I've done 19,000 steps. And then I didn't even notice it. So that was the first time I thought to myself, what if I just did start to walk 10,000 steps every day? And so I researched about what 10,000 steps is. And it just kept on coming on my Google feed. It just kept on showing like the benefits of doing 10,000 steps every day. A little background on my daily step counter. In 2022, I averaged about 3,800 plus steps for the entire year average. That was including like from January to December. And in 2023, when I started in May, I now averaged at the end of the year 12,800 steps. But for the past 6 months, starting June to December, I averaged about 16,700 steps. So give or take, maybe between 16 to 17,000. And why do I do that? A lot of things. And that's why I'm going to talk to you about the 10 benefits of walking every day. Wow. It's a complete game changer for me, personally, because I started working out when I was 19 years old. And yes, I did have a six pack abs. I was so fit, but I was skinny as a college student. I think I averaged about 120 pounds, 115, 120 pounds as a college student. And I'm now 42. I've never weighed below 160 pounds. The last time I weighed 160 pounds was 2006. And I never averaged below that ever since, right? After living in the States for about 2 years, I gained weight. From 140, I became like 165 and I never looked back. Like even when I got married, I was hovering around 160 to 1 around May of last year. I weighed 186 pounds and my body fat was over 30%. And I saw it in the pictures. Like me and my wife Christina, we were traveling in Malaysia and we took some pictures together and we did some selfies and I said, "Wow, my face looks so big." And the thing is, I've always been in the gym working out 3, 4 times a week. There's nothing changed. But one thing that really actually changed for me was I added doing the 10,000 steps. But you always see that, right? 10,000 steps, walking 10,000 steps, and the benefits of that. But where did it originally start? Well, let me share to you a brief history about how it started. Why 10,000 steps exactly? Well, it started in the 1965 Tokyo Olympics. A Japanese company, Yamasa, created a pedometer called Manpoke. Yeah, I hope I said it correctly, which translates to 10,000 step meter. So the 10,000 step goal was used as a marketing campaign for the step counter and a public health initiative in Japan, which started in the Olympics, of course. So Dr. Yoshiro Hatano believed that getting to 10,000 daily steps would help the Japanese people lower the risk of heart diseases. And it did. Japan has one of the lowest records of heart diseases in the world. So, how many steps do you actually need? So, since 1965, many step counters and fitness trackers have passed through the market. So, perhaps 10,000 steps remain as a memorable and round number that someone can use for marketing campaigns. But regardless of what's catchy, several studies have set out to find out the ideal number of steps that we all actually need. And 10,000 is actually the base number for that. So, remember that step count is largely about aerobic activity level. Some people, they can't actually walk, right? So for those that aren't capable of walking, it's also translatable to any aerobic activity level. So this means that if you're unable to walk, there are other ways to fulfill your physical activity recommendation. Steps are not just the only way, right? Any hand movements. I've seen myself unconsciously walking around in the office, guys, you probably see me doing like this types of movements because I'm wearing a smartwatch. I'm also wearing a smart ring. This is the Amovan smart ring. So the CDC knows that the following physical activities can help you doing 150 minutes of moderate exercise every week. So that's about 30 minutes times three, right? And performing any muscle strengthening exercises like resistance training or two to three times a week. So the first benefit of walking 10,000 steps every day is that number one is your cardiovascular health, right? So regular walking strengthens your heart, it improves circulation, and helps manage your blood pressure. So it contributes to a healthier cardiovascular system, reducing the risk of heart disease. Anytime you're walking, you are giving your heart some well needed exercise. Of course, you can go to the gym, you can work out your arms and stuff like this. You can target those areas of your body. You can target your chest, your back, your shoulders, and your legs even. But how about your heart? And walking does that for you. Second benefit of walking 10,000 steps every day is that you're managing your weight more properly. So, weight management. So, walking is a very moderate aerobic exercise that aids in weight maintenance or loss for a lot of people like me by burning calories. So, it's accessible to people of different fitness levels and can be easily incorporated into daily routines. What's great about walking is that even at any level of fitness that you may have, whether it be you're obese, you're thin, you're normal and everything, you can start off by doing 4,000 steps, right? If you're doing okay, let's say you're doing an average only of 2,000 steps every day. That's your what's averaging on your step counter. You can do double of that. And then from there, you can again add another double. If you're doing 4,000 already, why not do eight? When you're doing eight, now you can do 12, adding some more until you reach the mark that you want to hit. Third benefit of walking 10,000 steps every day is that it enhances your mood. So, mood enhancement, right? Remember, I told you that May 19th, I was in a stressful Zoom call. I could have been more stressed that night because it was a very stressful Zoom conversation that I had. I felt really good after that. Like I felt tired, but at the same time, it felt like you had a boost of energy. It's weird, right? You spend energy so that you can have more energy. So physical activities that includes walking, it triggers the release of what we call endorphins, which are known as the feel good hormones or the natural high, the feeling that you get. So endorphins give you that. This can help release stress and anxiety and depression and promoting a positive mood overall for yourself. Walking really helps everyone who is feeling those things feel a lot better. And there's so many research that it proves that it's actually true. So number three, mood enhancement. So moving on to the fourth benefit of walking 10,000 steps every day is that you have improved joint health, right? So walking is super low impact. It's a low impact exercise compared to running that's gentle on the joints. It helps improve joint flexibility and reduces the risk of conditions like arthritis. I can tell you right now, like before actually doing walks every day, I had arthritis, muscle soreness, and joint problems every morning when I wake up. Now, even if I've done 20,000, 25,000 steps, I don't feel that. When I do leg day exercise, I don't feel that much pain anymore in my body. So it gives you the natural lubrication that you need. And the thing is, it's really low impact because you're not doing so many stress on your knees. If you're top heavy and you're walking, imagine if you're top heavy and you're running every day. So that impact on your knees, it's gonna hurt. That's why people can actually run every day. It's because of the stress it gives to your body. But when you do walking, it's a normal movement that we all do, just like swaying our arms or our eyes blinking, right? It's something that you don't need to actually learn. And there's no impact when you're just moving your one leg forward over the other. So that's number four, joint health. Fifth benefit of walking every day 10,000 steps is that your bone density is actually improving. right? So weight bearing activities such as walking, it supports bone health and can help prevent conditions like osteoporosis by promoting bone density. I come from a family that has a lot of bone problems in my mother's side. My mom has scoliosis and she has osteoporosis as well. I discovered when I was 35 years old that I had bone problems as well. So I have a lot of bone spurs from my training days when I was training in wrestling and MMA and jiu-jitsu and all those physical activities. So when I was 35 years old, I had a bone composition of someone who was 55 years old. And that was really bad. And I didn't know how to do that. I'm 42 years old, but my biological age is now 27 years old, which is a 15-year difference. And it's crazy how you can actually do that by just walking every day. So, number five, bone density. All right, number six, and this is one of my favorite benefits of walking every day. Now that I've gone to just the weight maintenance stage of my life, I'm now not really so afraid of eating and binge eating from time to time. You see, I have a very good appetite. I have a very, very strong appetite that I eat a lot when I see food that I really like. I can't resist hamburgers. I can't resist pizza. I love eating chocolate chip cookies. I love blueberry cheesecakes. I have a sweet tooth and all that. And I really gained a lot of weight eating those stuff. Not by stress eating. It's just that I enjoy eating, just like anyone else. So when I started cutting down on my sweets and all that, when I incorporated walking, it really actually helped me stop the cravings that I have or just slow down the cravings that I have with sweets and everything like that. So it improved my digestion, which is the number six benefit of walking every day. Regular movements like walking aids in digestion and it promotes the smooth functioning of your gastrointestinal system or your stomach. Timing your walks every day is very crucial as well. You don't walk right after eating, like lunch or dinner. The best time to walk is 30 minutes before you actually eat dinner or before lunch or upon waking up. I walk upon waking. I just have black coffee or water and I just walk 5,000 steps in the morning before I actually even have my protein shake. It's a great way for you to number one use your fat for energy source instead of the carbohydrates that you have in your body. So using your fat as energy source, and when you lose fat, you lose the fat. That's where your muscles will now show up even further. So again, number six, improved digestion. It's one of the benefits of walking 10,000 steps every day. So let's move on to the seventh benefit of walking 10,000 steps every day is that it enhances your immune function or your immune system. Doing moderate exercise like walking has been linked to improve immune system functions, helping the body defend against illnesses and infection. So walking every day will help improve the antibodies that you have, of course, inside your body. It strengthens the immunity that you have. If you have wounds, right, it heals much faster when you're doing moderate exercises, especially walking because it creates more antibodies inside your body. Number seven, it enhances your immune functions. Moving on to the eighth benefit of taking 10,000 steps every day is that you have better sleep quality. Why? Because regular physical activity that includes walking, it actually contributes to better sleep quality because it helps regulate sleep patterns and promotes restful sleep. So I walk before sleeping at least 5,000 to 7,000 steps. Like half of my daily requirements of walking are done at night before I even go to bed. It's my what you call my natural melatonin, where it actually helps me go to sleep. Right before it took me hours before I could actually go to sleep. Now, when I finish walking and I do all my night rituals before going to bed, it would just take me less than 30 minutes before I snooze off for the day, and which is great, right? Because your muscles are now going to be more relaxed after a good walk. So that's number eight. You get better sleep. Ninth benefit of walking every day, 10,000 steps, is that your energy levels are increased. So my camera guy is nodding yes because he's the one that actually said that, right? Right. So you don't crash in the afternoon anymore, right? You don't get drowsy in the afternoon. So walking boosts your circulation and the oxygen flow in your body. So the sedentary, the ones that are not moving, in your body is now actually moving. So there's more blood flow. There's more oxygen flow in your body. So it provides an energy boost for you. So it combats the feeling of fatigue and enhance overall vitality. So now you have more energy because oxygen is flowing inside your body because of the walking that you did. Imagine that if you're just in a chair sitting for 10 hours straight and you're not doing some movements, of course you're going to get so drowsy. But have you heard of anyone walking and feeling sleepy? It's rare, right? So it gives you that much more energy throughout the day. If you don't believe me, try it, right? So number 9, increased energy levels. So number 10, the last benefit of walking every day is that there's a social connection that you can have. Walking has been an activity of mine and my wife Christina for the past few months because it's the time that we can talk and we can chat because we're just walking casually and strolling, and before we know it we've done already 8,000 steps walking together, discussing some things about business and life in general. So it can be a social activity if you do it with your friends or loved ones. So it fosters connections with your friends or family, or if you have a walking group, that's awesome, right? So social interactions contribute to mental and emotional well-being. It's well researched that if you do that, you get a lot of benefits from social interactions, especially when you're doing walking at the same time. So just a few more added benefits besides mental health, focus, and mental clarity, right? So one added benefit that I have from walking is that every time I'm walking, that's the only time that I worry. I call my walking my worry time, right? Why? Because I have so many things I worry about in business and personal things that I have to think about. But then when I'm walking, that's the only time I worry and think about the problems that I have. That 1 to 2 hours that I have, I'm only thinking about problems. But the rest of the day, I don't think about them. If I have a solution for that problem that I have during that day, and this is what actually helps me in my business that gets me focused. Instead of me worrying about, okay, how can I do this? How can I do that? I'm already thinking about that during my walks. And that's also the time that I'm learning at the same time. I've lessened the amount of books that I read every day, but I've increased the amounts of time that I'm listening to audiobooks. Why? Because I have my earphones and I'm listening and I'm taking down notes every time I'm listening to audiobooks. So I'm still learning. I'm listening to audiobooks every time that I'm walking. So if it's not audiobooks, I could be listening to podcasts. And if I don't feel like doing that, I could be just listening to good old music that I love to walk around with. Those are the benefits that I have for you when you take 10,000 steps every day. So, walking 10,000 steps every day is a great way to improve your overall health, whether physically, mentally, emotionally. It's one of the best exercise that you could do. And the thing is, people do not highlight walking on social media. Why? Because it's the most unglamorous type of exercise. People always show off the weights that they lift, the CrossFit exercise that they do, the running, the how many miles that they run at what pace and whatever. But what about those normal people who can't, do all those things and they don't know where to start? Well, I think for you, walking would be a great exercise. It's a great gateway exercise for someone that wants to start living a more healthy lifestyle. And it's something that you can do for the rest of your life, regardless if you're 17 or 71. My mom's 74, and when I told her to start walking every day, she would do morning walks every day. And she used to have a cane when she walks. Now she doesn't use her cane because she feels her legs are much stronger. So walking has helped everyone across all stages of their life, and it's a proven fact. That's all I have for you today. If you think you found value in today's episode, make sure to hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like this video as well. And I'll see you again in the next episode. Peace. Oh, and by the way, I'm doing another episode on ways that you can improve your step count every day, because if everyone's struggling to like, oh my God, I can't do 10,000 steps, right? So I'll give you some tips and tricks on how you can improve your step count every day in the next video. Watch out for that.